Good day, my viewers. So I drew up these templates. I'm going to make 3 sets of spatulas and spoons for cast iron cooking. And the reason I'm doing 3 is I have a couple of friends that also do some cast iron cooking, and they thought it would be cool to have them. One of them actually provided the tree that this is cut out of. This is cherry, and I actually cut the tree down on the channel and then did a little bit of milling on it. This is actually a log that I did not mill, and I just cut it out of a big chunk of it. So this stuff's actually still pretty green. It hasn't been drying very long at all. But there's the spatulas all set aside, and then here's the spoons. And I realized after the fact that I could have spun the spoon around end for end, and I would have got 4 blanks out of this because it's thick enough to do it. But that was after the fact, so I might do that with the other block. And actually the block that I'm drawing on now I ended up not using because it has a big crack in the end of it, and it was going to eliminate the middle spoon altogether because it was going to be cracked, so there was no way to do it. So I ended up using that other block you see off to the side there. So first thing is to jump on a bandsaw and knock them out real quick. I got the spatulas, and now we're going to get to the spoons here. And this is actually on this first spoon I went ahead and cut little slots in towards the bowl of the spoon on the top half and then cut around it, but I didn't realize while I was doing that, while I was cutting it, that it was going to be just as easy to use the old method of just taking off chunks and keep working down to the line. So on the rest of them I did that instead. And there you can see what I mean. Just take a little bit, and take another cut, and bam, there we go. We're there. Last one. So now I'm going to take the templates for the tops of them, or bottoms, however you want to think of it, but I'm drawing them from the top, so and I'm going to mark them out onto the pieces that I've already cut on the bandsaw to the outside shape. Well, okay, for the spatula I did the side view first, and then I did the top second, and on the spoons it was just the opposite. I did the top first and the side second. So then it was just a matter of cutting out the top profile for the spatula and the side profile for the spoon. and then you'll see me knock down the bowl a little bit to make it easier to shape when I go over to the drum and belt sander. Or I guess it's a disc and belt sander. Just showing you one of each there. So here we are at the belt sander. That's a 6x48 belt, and I don't actually use the disc on these, but it's there. And I'm using the round end there to kind of hit the curves, and then I can get the flat areas as much as possible out on the flat plating of the sander. And then you're going to see here in a minute, once I've satisfied with the smoothness of the spatula, that I'm going to shape the front to come down to like to come to a point which will get under the food more easily. So that's a really old belt on that sander, and it's seen a lot of use. And so here in just a moment, you're going to see, yep, the belt blew up. And if you look at close, if you replay that and look real close, you'll see that the two halves of the belt, it just took the center of it out, and the two halves slid over each other. They went right to the center. So I did buy a new belt, and this one's a little coarser grit. That one was a 120 and it was well used, and this is a 80 grit, so it made things go a lot faster when I sanded the rest of them. But again, I want to show you the one spatula, and I'm going to show you one spoon here, and then we're going to get over there and carve the bowls on the spoons. I'm going to show you two different ways that I tried, and the second one definitely worked out better. You'll see that here in a moment. So now I'm going to mark out where I want my bowl's outer edge to be. That's the opening's outer edge, and then of course the edge of the spoon is the full outer edge. And then I'm going to use this burr on a die grinder to carve this one out. Now the camera died before the whole process was done, but this is just to give you the idea. These things do work, but I will tell you this. There was a lot of scraping with a, what do you call it, a French curve card scraper to get down in there to kind of even things out a little bit, and then a lot of sanding still after that. So that was the wrong tool in my opinion. I mean, it'll do it. So then I switched over to the Arbortech ball gouge on the Arbortech Power Carver. Thank God for those guys, because this was a whole lot more simple, and it left it a much smoother surface in there. So like on this particular spoon, all I had to do was sand. I didn't even have to use a card scraper. The one that I did off camera, that one I did actually get the card scraper out because I left myself a little uneven at the bottom, but that smoothed it right up, and then it sanded just fine. It just took a few minutes, nothing big. And then you're going to see me flip the spoon over here in a bit, and I'm going to sand the back side, and that's how I get the walls of the spoon to like be more even to the inside. So like the first sanding and bandsawing the outside of the spoon is not actually to get to perfect size, it's just to remove more material before I just have to sand it down with a side grinder. So here I'm going to put the sanding disc on the Arbortech, and that is not an Arbortech disc, but it's the one that holds the bigger paper that I usually use. Theirs is a 4-inch, and that's a 5.5 or something like that, or 5, I guess 5-inch. But it fits on the grinder, so I use it. And it uses the same paper that a regular sander does. So, but this lets me get that outside like evened up. You see me keep reaching down and pinching and feeling how thick it is and such. And so I work off other areas until I get it far more evened up than it was before. And then a whole bunch more sanding, you know. So for finishing, I grabbed a cookie sheet out of the house. Not that this particular finish would hurt my bench at all, but I didn't want to get it all over the bench, so I didn't. I put a cookie sheet under there, and it's just a butcher block conditioner. It's mineral oil and some natural waxes, and perfectly food safe, so seemed like the right thing to use. And then we're just going to rub it in, and then I let these set after I got them all coated for about half an hour and let it soak in real good, and then came back with paper towels and wiped them off. I don't show that in the video. We'll just skip to the end when it comes to that part. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm going to be signing off. I will sit in front of the camera and talk to you for a moment here before I end the video, but otherwise, thanks for watching. Oh, here we go. Got them all done. 3 spatulas, 3 spoons. 1 set's for me, 1 set's for Joe and Lynn, 1 set's for my friend Tracy. So that's it. Pretty simple process. The spoons are a bit more difficult, of course, than the spatulas, which is why you only saw me form 1 spatula on video. But I took the time to actually film, I think, 2 of the spoons in various stages and various attempts. The exciting part was having the belt on the combo sander blow up on me. That was fun. I will leave that in because that was just, oh my gosh. Funny. I went and bought a new belt, of course. Anyway, well guys, hope you enjoyed, and get ready for the next one. It's going to be even better. It'll be a welding video though, so keep that in mind. Have a good one. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.